A little America inside the numbers. Drug testing and faking drug tests. The numbers are going up. I just read this article today.
Did you read High Times? Is the new issue out?
I'm gonna keep my sources.
That's a trap.
Anonymous. I'm not gonna be trapped into that. I refuse to be trapped into it.
I mean, it's not really. Look, I know everybody brings what they bring to the table,
That's
but
right.
I didn't think drug testing was a hot button issue.
Hot button. Because of these numbers.
Say no more.
What would Dave say? It's a trap. Did you see? Chris Demm showed me this. King Charles had his first portrait done, and they say it looks like Han Solo when he was trapped in the.
I love it.
It's an ugly red portrait.
Red. It's all red, and
with
his
face just kind of jumping out.
You
at
really
you.
should Google it if you haven't seen it.
I saw it and I thought, this is art.
This is art.
Yeah, I did. I
art.
loved it. I think, and it does. It reminds me of something.
Yeah.
It looks like the new Star Wars villain.
It does.
I love it.
It does look like when Han Solo was trapped in that whatever it was.
But
frozen.
is it fit for a king? Literally fit for a king.
Well, there's been a lot of debate.
A lot of people, a lot of opinions online
in the
about
home country. A lot of people say that's him getting ready to burn now.
Yeah, are you burning in hell? Because
Yeah.
it's really, if you look at it's red as it gets, and then Prince Charles' face sort of in the middle of it. And some people did say this is awesome. It's artistic,
And he unveiled it himself.
He was there.
Yeah.
but had he seen it before, or do you think he was shocked by it? I don't know.
I bet that's the first time he saw it.
Let me ask Chris Demm this. The other day we had a conversation about museums. It's hung with me.
Yeah.
Because Dave said he loves museums, and I said I don't care if I ever grace another museum in my life. Banksy just opened one. I was like, whatever,
Banksy.
Yeah, the artist Banksy.
Yeah.
He's all his work. He's like this mysterious artist. Nobody knows
No
who
one
he
knows
is.
who he is.
But he does all this incredible work and everything. And Dave's like, oh, I'm so into avant-garde art. I was like,
He didn't say that.
Okay. I was like, yeah. In my head, he did. And then he said, I love the Louvre. I was like, oh, you love the Louvre.
Yeah.
So we got into it.
You were proudly ignorant.
I was. I said, I don't need to see it. If someone, let's say you get 100 people who have they don't know anything about art at all. They've never heard of the Mona Lisa. They don't, but they're intelligent people. Like aliens come down and they're intelligence, but they don't know what the Mona Lisa is. If you put up 100 paintings, one of which is the Mona Lisa, the others are just folks who paint, seascapes.
Drink a bottle of wine and paint.
Yeah, and paint. Okay, right, exactly. And you say one of these is a world-class, well-known piece of art, and you give the person $1 million or the people $1 million if you can find it. I think very few could say, "Well, this is the one."
That's probably likely, but
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we know about the artist, and it has become just this pop cultural.
Oh yeah.
Thing. I mean, they've made
of course.
songs and movies about it.
Yes.
It's just become part of the culture.
Yes, it's just how does one or a few get to be the ones, And there are many, many greats. I mean,
Rembrandt was a master painter.
Yes.
I mean, his works are, they will last for a decade.
They are
centuries.
They're renowned.
Yeah.
But my contention is there are other painters, I won't say just as good because he's Rembrandt, but who painted at the time that if you put them side by side, no one would know that's a Rembrandt and that's not. That's the better painting.
Well, I mean, all art is like that. There are great movies that most people don't see. They're great albums that people don't hear.
But if you put a great movie again, like if you put up a Godfather against Dumb and Dumber, and they say one of these won the Academy Award for Best Picture, I'll know which one it was.
Yeah.
Art, though, you could put, this is a great piece of art. This was done by a 6th grade teacher who draws well. I won't be able to, 50-50 if I'll be able to get the right one. That's just why I don't go to the Louvre.
Yeah.
Proudly.
But Dave does. Dave does go to the Louvre. He is a museum man.
You should give Dave an art test.
Yeah. Show him some art pieces and say,
You should show him, get some art that a 5th grader did, but you got to frame it right so it looks
right.
And say one of these is worth $1.2 million and one is hanging on their mom's fridge.
Exactly. And he might get it right. He might, but give it to him. He likes the experience of seeing the great art. I just find that boring. And people said, "Yeah, you're proudly ignorant." Proudly ignorant. I guess I was that day, but since then, I thought I'm cultured. Okay. I drive. I grip the steering wheel real hard. You know how I hold grudges. Grudges.
Sure.
Yeah.
This one will stick with you. Yeah, that did stick with you.
Big time. For a few days now.
And what'll happen is every time you go by a museum anywhere now, you'll be like, maybe Dave's been there.
That's right. That's exactly
I bet
right.
Dave would like that museum.
That's exactly.
If you had a fast food wrapper in your car, you'd throw it out in front of the museum.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Hey, here's some art for you.
I just made a masterpiece.
How's that for
I call
art?
it Diet Coke with ice.
That's right.
Why don't you have Dave come look at this?
That's art for you. Well, I saw the King Charles painting. I thought it was terrible, but a lot of people, as Biggie said, thought it was
I saw it. I was like, that's awesome.
masterpiece. But then a lot of people say, I guess that's what great art does, creates conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and it really is. It's striking when you different, completely different.
Not what you think when you think royal portrait.
Absolutely.
That is not it.
Once I was with our former coworker Sissy, who's
Long gone.
hadn't been here. This is 25 years ago. We were at Disney World. Oh, we're going through Hall of Presidents. And that's my
That's art.
That's art. And they had the official portraits of every president hanging on the wall.
And the official portraits, right?
Well, they're in the White House, but yeah, these are
Okay.
A replica or a real painting. It was the at least the shot of their official painting. And Kennedy, John F. Kennedy is seen. The rest of them are like sitting and it's their bust, But Kennedy is looking down. You sort of see the top of his head, and it's like he's looking at the ground. And Sissy and I were looking at them, former coworker, and I said, "That's my favorite one because it's unique, it's different. It's like he's deep in thought." And she's my least favorite one because it looks like he's weak because he's staring at the ground.
Interesting.
And I said, "Well, that's two different viewpoints on art, isn't it?" I really love. The one I'm talking about. It's like he's wearing a brown suit, and
I've seen the photograph.
Yeah. And I said, "That's my favorite." And she said, "Mm-mm."
I like that take on it, though. Two very different takes.
Yeah, it was.
We'll debate this after the teacups.
Yeah.
It stuck with me all through Small World, and I've got some things I gotta say.
But make sure we do it before Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I told her.
Because that will shake us loose.
I told her.
We'll forget.
We fought about it now. We
Yeah.
fought right there on the floor of the. They started calling us in for the where you sit and see the robots talk, the president show. And I was like, "Nah, sister, you're not going to get away with saying that.
Yeah.
Not to me. No, sir."
Disney employees radioing. We got a domestic here at the Hall of Presidents.
Aren't they here free? They're the radio people, right?
We are and we
Yeah.
were. That's right. That's exactly.
I don't think we can kick them out. They didn't even pay.
Man. Thank God the radio stuff ended before Disney let you drink around the world.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you imagine sending a group of radio folks.
All those
Lord.
drunks.
I mean, Epcot Center's just for drinking now.
I don't like that either. That sticks in my craw.
Yeah.
I don't like
It's for education
it's
and
for-
food.
Thank you. Yes, I visited 26 countries in 1 hour.
Yeah.
I went from Mexico to China. It's incredible. But now it's just people drinking.
Oh, yeah. I bet the puking that goes on.
Oh, it's terrible. The Modelo in Mexico and whatever other they go around the world. I didn't like it. I don't like that. Well, and the whole thing about drug testing.
Oh, man.
I didn't even
blow the spot?
Yeah.
I didn't have time because I had to do my take on art.
Dave got you again with art, and he's not even here.
Not even here. See how he lives in my head rent free. Sissy's still living in my head rent free. Every time I see that shot of Kennedy, I'm like, Sissy. Makes me so mad. Man. I was actually trying to date her at the time, but it wasn't. It wasn't to be.
Gross.
It wasn't to be.
At Disney, sick.
I know.
I know the person of which you speak. She's out of your league.
She was so far. Oh my God! It would like me going up to Shohei Ohtani and say, "Can I pitch to you?" Out of my league. Not even close.
I thought maybe we could handsy on test track. No, we can't.
Yeah.